Hello, NYWCites. I am the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. Draw the Line 2025 is in the history books, and there wasn't many matches announced for this one, but turned out to be another great time. But then again, when does NYWC disappoint, folks? Despite flying solo, because those I normally sit with were not at this show. We kick off the event with the planned celebration Mr. Entertainment Brian Vitko had for the Asgardian Beast Stockade Lothbrok over winning the championship last month from Dickie Rods, complete with a bunch of guys coming out with confetti poppers. I know a certain artist would have jumped for joy about them. What else? A big thing of balloons that was hanging above the ring. Cade was given gifts by Brian Vitko. He gave him a videotape of Hondo. It was on VHS. Also unveiled a cardboard cutout of I don't know if that was Zach Wilde from Black Label Society. And Vitko said he had a letter that was written by Dickie Rods. Also, there was like a case of Pabst Blue Ribbon beer and a case of energy drinks. Oh, what a rush. Oh, what a rush. Oh. And, sorry. Shoot. And eventually out comes JT Cason and Spider claiming Vitko stole their case of beer. And I think Spider wanted a match with Cade later in the show because Cade was not initially announced for a match. But eventually they decided the match would happen later in the evening. But, and then, here's something that really boggles my mind. I mean, after Spider, Cason, and Vitko and Cade leave the ring, one guy that was sweeping up the ring was like taking 20 years to sweep all that confetti out of the ring. I mean, another guy came out and tried. Cason comes back out and, what a rush. And it was just, I don't know, some fans were like getting impatient. But we finally get a match underway as we see it was a qualifying match just for the Psycho Circus match that's happening in February. As we saw hardcore icon Jay Red take on a man he knows all too well, Jorge La Bestia, accompanied ring by Johnny Brando. Clearly competitive match, and of course, in these qualifying matches, they got to go into the yard, which is like the cuffed and cage with like weapons inside of it, and they did go in there, and it came into play. Eventually, Jorge defeats Jay Red at 9 minutes 4 seconds, and as a result, Jorge the first man to qualify for the Psycho Circus match. All right. Next up was we saw making their debut, Dom Platinum, The Shade, and I apologize, I forgot the third man's name, but they were collectively known as Dream Street Society, as they challenged Aaron Christensen, Trevor Blue, and Robbie Rebel, Disobey. Oh, gosh. For the Trios Championship, and I noticed, when Disobey, I forgot who they had things going there. They were in control of the match, and they had a little bottle that said Dubby on it. And turns out Dubby is like an energy drink. I mean, for some reason, I don't know who came with the name, but it sounds like, the name Dubby, but it sounds like they said, it sounded like they're saying dummy, D-U-M-M-Y, but you can see on the bottle, it's clearly spelled D-U-B-B-Y. For some reason, Why did I think it looked like a sippy cup for some reason? All apologies for that about that bottle. Ugh. Oh, what a rush. Well, Disobey ended up defeating the Dream Street Society with a great triple team move at 8 minutes 22 seconds to retain the Trios Championship. Up next, we see the Big O come to the ring, and he mentions about the Toxic King Brandon Watts, says to Brandon, you got something that belongs to me. And O had came to the ring with a bag in his hand. He said, well, I got something that belongs to you. Eventually, Brandon comes, I guess, I don't think he came out through the back door, but he hits the ring. Attacks O from behind, and Brandon not in his wrestling gear. He was wearing shorts, and he had sneakers on. When the match got underway, the Big O defeated Brandon Watts at 2 minutes 25 seconds to officially retain the O3 championship, and he also regained possession of the physical belt. After the match, O takes the microphone from ring announcer Jason Linnick, and he talked about every time he gets on the microphone, he talked about, usually because he's coming back from an injury or he wants to make a challenge to someone. And he mentioned that when he first walked in to start training, he said somebody didn't think he'd last and so many other things. And he said so many have come and gone from the locker room in the last 15 years. But he ended things by saying that his final match is happening in April 2026. So I don't know if that means he's not going to wrestle again until April 2026 or what he's going to do in the meantime. Up next was it was going to be a triple threat match for the Starlet Championship. Kylie Alexa was going to defend the Starlet belt against Ruthless Lala and Sammy Chaos, but I guess Sammy Chaos didn't make the show, so it was a singles match. Lala was accompanied to the ring by the Wise brother, A.R. Jones. Good matchup these ladies had. At one point, it appeared Lala had hurt her knee, and while the referee's checking on her, out comes her prolific comrade, Isaiah Wolf. He attacks Kylie. I forgot what movie hit her with, but Kylie, Ruthless Lala eventually pins Kylie Alexa at 12 minutes 47 seconds to become the new NYWC Starlet Champion. At that point in time, they went to intermission. And during intermission, Bam Sullivan and Mouse, the extra kid, they attack Man Bun Jesus at his merch table, and they put him through the table. I noticed the Big O picked up and helped him out. I noticed Michael Mastretta had come out from that side door, and he tried to go after them, but I guess after they went out that door, he chased after them. Okay. We resume with two guys. I apologize because they didn't even get a damn introduction. But let's just say they were thrown to the lions, shall we? Like Christians thrown to the lions, because out came Chaos, who accompanies her father Rage and Hunter Grayson, collectively known as Killing in the Name of. They hit the ring, and Killing in the Name of beat their two opponents, whose names were never mentioned, at 45 seconds. Then out comes Isaiah Wolf with the Fusion Championship, and he's dressed in a suit and tie, accompanied by the Wise brother A.R. Jones. And Wolf, he was going to apologize for what happened earlier, or he cost Kylie Alexa the Starlet Championship. And then he basically ran down the crowd, ran down Long Island, and he said, I chased this Fusion title for a year. All of you were buzzing about A1G, and He referred to Jorge La Bestia as Jorge La Batista, and also referred to himself as Mr. Wolf. And a gauntlet match got underway for that Fusion Championship. First challenger was Satanta Fury, who came to the ring to Blur's Song 2. For those who don't know, that's a song goes, woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. My voice cracked. Isaiah Wolf defeats Satanta Fury in the first leg of this gauntlet match at 2 minutes 13 seconds. The next competitor, representing the full-blood Italians, CJ Bambino, accompanied by Nicky Primo. Eventually, it was pretty competitive with those two. Wolf defeats Bambino in the second leg of the gauntlet match at 2 minutes 45 seconds. And then out comes Slimeball Sage Chance, and he and Wolf go at it. And at one point, Sage comes to the top rope, but then Ruthless Lala trips him or causes him to lose his balance. And I don't know if he got crotched or he ended up falling down the ring. The referee stopped the match. Wolf and against Sage in the final leg of the gauntlet was a no contest at 1 minute 42 seconds. At that point, Kylie Alexa comes out, goes after Lala. All hell breaks loose. So many people come out and try to break up the four of them. Sage gets the microphone and issued a challenge for a tag match, himself and Kylie against Wolf and Lala for both the Starlet and Fusion Championships at the next show, and I'll get to that in a little bit. From there, what a rush. We have a return bout from last month's House of Madness, as the top tier A1G did battle with Mr. Main Event Salvatore Savelli. And they went at it, and eventually they went into the yard, and some weapons came into play. And after they got out of the yard and came back to the ring, eventually, I forgot what move it was, but Savelli pinned A1G at 6 minutes 25 seconds. Savelli officially qualifies for the Psycho Circus match in February. And Savelli, I don't know if he took the microphone or not, but Savelli had declared himself Scumbag Savelli. And even after he made it back to the curtain, you could hear him screaming in the back. And I don't know if he was cutting a promo or what he was doing. Excuse me. Okay, prior to the next matchup, Jason Linick announced to the crowd that Man Bun Jesus was attacked during intermission and put through his own merchandise table, and he was sent to a medical facility and was not certain if he'd make it back in time. But up next was the Tag Team Championship, as we saw Nobody's Better Michael Mastretta, pretty much a handicap match, challenging extricated Bam Sullivan and Mouse for the Tag Team Championship. Late in the matchup, Man Bun's music plays. Out comes a Groovy Grizzly with the cardboard cutout of Michael Mastretta that was used back at September's event Till I Collapse, and the Grizzly was trying to get Mastretta to tag Cardboard Mastretta, but then Mouse grabbed the Cardboard Mastretta and did a number on it. The Extricate eventually defeat Michael Mastretta in the handicap match at 9 minutes 22 seconds to retain the Tag Team Championship. Okay, and then it was time for the main event, as we saw Spider challenge Cade Lothbrock, accompanied ring by Mr. Entertainment Brian Vitko. Cade and Vitko, they had their own entrance set up in the corner of the Sportatorium. Well, Cade, I don't think they even waited for the bell to ring or get through the introductions, and they started going at it. They went out on the floor, the guardrail was knocked over, They brawled in the crowd, and surprisingly, they never did go inside the yard to do that because the yard was legal to go in, was in play during this title matchup. They eventually come back to the ring. Kate accidentally bumps into Ref Zach in the corner. Wow, other shit went on here. Eventually, Brian Ritko gets in the ring and he's got some kind of paper and he has like, I don't know if it's a cigarette lighter, he lights it up and throws it in Spider's face. And Kate Lothbrock defeats Spider at 11 minutes 9 seconds to retain the heavyweight championship. After the match, JT Kaysen, he comes out. Kaysen picks up Vitko and he gives him the airplane spin, and I don't know if Cade threw fire. No, Cade threw fire in Kaysen's face. I mean, he attacked him, I know that. But then out came big time Tony Burma, who hadn't been seen on a show since Till I Collapsed in September. He goes after Cade, he goes at it, but then he stopped, and then Vitko threw fire in Burma's face. And basically, Vitko... Oh, I forgot. No, I'm sorry. I forgot what happened. Mike Norman, forgot he came out for the celebration at the beginning of the show. Mike Norman came out with a Singapore cane. I can't believe... I forgot if he attacked Kaysen or not. He did come out, attack Burma, and before Burma got the fire in his face, and Cade, Burma, and Mike Norman stood tall after at the end of the night. I noticed Dirk Moore. I mean, I don't know if the Dirty Deeds are really teaming in NYWC anymore, what their deal is. But Dirk Moore, he came out and he had like a towel and water to try to soothe was it Spider or Burma's face from the burn? And the show ended around or just after 9:30. After the show ended, they played Hold the Line by Toto. I was singing it through my megaphone, but I don't think people really cared because the crowd was pretty much leaving. And they were packing up the chairs behind me. And again, I was sitting front row close to the back door where that food truck is. I'm glad I ate before I got there. Okay. Well, some personal notes. Good seeing Joey, Mikey Muscles Marinara again. Happy birthday. Who else did I know? There were pretty women in the crowd. Okay. Remember it well. I guess I'll never get to talk to that certain lady in the crowd. Second month in a row, the front row seats were not numbered. Chris Perry no longer involved with NYWC. Because I was flying solo for this event, I actually tried to purchase my ticket online, but something went wrong and it wouldn't go through for some reason. But they didn't take any money out of me, so I paid at the door. And the two ladies who usually work the merchandise table, they were working the door this time. I don't know if Shane was in attendance for this event. I didn't see him throughout the night. But definitely a lot went down on this event. Prolific heel turn. The Savelli goes heel again, but now he's scumbag Savelli. Man Bun gets put to a table and didn't get to wrestle. Tony Burma didn't wrestle on this one. Neither did JT Kaysen. A lot of people we haven't seen in recent shows, like Amity LaVey, Giorgio Lawrence. Forgot who else we didn't get to see. Well, I guess we can plug now. Well, the New York Wrestling Connection returns with its last hurrah of 2025, Tour de Circus, on Saturday, December 27th, 2 days after Christmas. I hope Jessica and her sister make this show, as well as everybody else I normally sit with. For this event, looks like it'll be Kylie Alexa and Sage Chance against Ruthless Lala and Isaiah Wolf for both Starlet and Fusion Championships. I would like to see Cade Lothbrock defend his belt against Tony Burma. Maybe we finally have Man Bun and Michael Mastretta face extricate for the tag team title, since Man Bun could not compete in this matchup. Killing in the Name of was now 2-0. Maybe have a tag team that can last over a minute with over 1 minute with them. Oh, who else I can remember? Not sure who Disobey faced for the trios belt. I don't know. I mean, I just hope. This. Well, I mean, obviously, the road at this show has pretty much officially kicked off the road to the Psycho Circus, which is happening Saturday, February 28th, 2026. No location announced yet, but I'm sure. Well, one thing is for certain, Tour de Circus, more Psycho Circus qualifying matches, as we already saw here at Draw the Line. Jorge La Bestia and Scumbag Savelli have qualified by virtue of their victories in their individual matches. So it's two of them, and as it stands right now, the champion Cade Lothbrock. I don't know if there'll be two or three qualifying matches come Tour de Circus. But yeah, that's definitely happening. Ooh, who else can I think of here? Damn. Let me see. Again, that pretty lady in the crowd. She's never gonna know. Never know how I feel about her. No, we didn't see Jane Vallow for this event. Let me see who else I can say that we didn't see that was not on this show. As I said, no Jaden Vallow. Nikki Primo didn't wrestle. And no appearance by Dickie Rods. I mean, I don't know. I mean, this was a very good show. And, it's obviously with Tour de Circus coming up, I mean, it should be a nice way to go out with a bang. And I hope Jessica and her sister make it, because the month of December marks 14 years since I first sat with her at the shows. So hopefully she and her sister will make it, along with the rest of them that weren't even with me for this one. Yeah. Okay, I guess that will. Well, yeah, I guess that'll do it. I mean, I was thinking actually, because they didn't come with me for the show. I actually went straight to the train station and went right home instead of going to eat somewhere after the show. Um, because the problem was there were people on the train. That's why I didn't do the video on the train. And it was nice to get home by midnight. I'll tell you that, folks. Because sometimes when after a show, especially when Jessica and her sister Leanne are with me, we'd go eat somewhere, and sometimes I wouldn't get home till 1 a.m. or later. All right, so NYWC was another great time. Still hoping to speak to that pretty woman in the crowd. And I'll end it with NYWC, 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 NYWC. Well, as I always say, NYWC rules, and I don't know if I'll ever speak to that pretty woman in the crowd.